Greetings, this is Bill Kleitz of Building Bridges Ministries. I'd like to share a few things concerning what is happening in our country today and what sometimes the news media does not tell us. Ronald Reagan fought almost all his life against communism, and it was a proud thing when he stood at the communist wall to bring it down. And it happened, but yet communist is still alive. I found an article. I want to share some things out of that article that are 45 goals, 45 goals that the Communist Party had made a list of that they wanted to accomplish in America. And yet we see these things happening right now. And remember, communism is part of socialism. Socialists lean toward Marxists, even though they try to use democratic ways or means to accomplish their things, particularly in America. So we want to see here, if you want to know socialism, look at what's happening today with this president. No other president ever came up and declared Islam or socialism or turned his back on moral things than this president. So it's very important for us. This is not about color. This is about a man's morals. This is about a person's life that he has troubled. It's not only him, though. Remember, the president just doesn't run this country. There's people that are around him just like him. But he's misusing his authority. And it grieves my heart as a veteran to realize years ago I fought for my precious country. But today we have a socialist government that's trying to actually overcome and disavow the Constitution. And the first things the judges and politicians do, they say, well, this is Constitution, or this is against the Constitution. They're trying to redefine what the Constitution says. So I wanted to make a little program, and I hope you're going to listen and email me or write me or leave a message to know that you're listening to this program. We need to wake up in America. I want to read one verse in Mark. I did a little sermonette previous about this, but I want to tie this in with this. Mark 8, number 15. And he charged them, saying, take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the leaven of Herod. Now that's very important to realize what he's saying there. The Pharisees represented the leaders of Israel and also the spiritual leaders. And also Herod was the political leader, the king. So you have two entities there. The religious world and the political world. The religious world today is accepting the ideas of religious pluralism. In other words, all paths lead to God. No matter what you believe, all paths lead to God. That's religious pluralism. That's against the scriptures. That's mainly against what Jesus Christ said in Mark or John 14:6. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So what are they attacking? They are attacking the very doctrines that we live by and what God has implemented in the Word of God, the scriptures, the holy writs, the holy oracles of God. God breathed into men to tell you and I how to live, what to do, what not to do, even in government. Our forefathers believed in the moral things of the Christian faith. That's why the Constitution and a lot of our laws are based on the principles of the Word of God. But yet I want to tell you today that communism is alive. We see that a president, when he makes a statement that he's going to use his pen and his phone and go around the Senate and the Congress and the House of Representatives, which is a balance which gives a balance in our country, so we don't have a dictator, or we don't have a leader that says he can do what he wants to without going through the Congress and the House of Representatives. So he is wrong. We do not have a monarchy. We do not have a king that rules everything and says what he wants, and then we bow and do it. That's why we have a balance in our Constitution, but he's bypassing those things. That's the socialist and the communist way of doing things. You do it my way. Look at the communists in other countries. You go there and preach Jesus, and you'll be locked up. Here in America, they're trying to do that same thing today. Churches are being shut down. They don't tell you this in the news. The IRS is coming after our churches and our 501c and 501 or 504, where your nonprofit organization. Money has become a god, and immorality has become a god in this country. Our country was based on Christian principles. You look at all the forefathers, even if they were deists, they believed in God. And the Constitution, the word Constitution and our republic, that's what we are. We are a republic. We are not a democracy. We are a republic that goes by democratic ways or rules. In other words, we vote, and the majority is supposed to win. But just like in California and other places, judges are now defying what the people say they want in their state. And a judge says that's unconstitutional for them to vote against homosexuality or other laws that it goes against the Word of God. That's one man overruling the vote of the people. So we are not a democracy. They are trying to rule over us. We are a republic, and we have accepted, even back in our forefathers, if there was any deist, there was possibly, it looks like, but they accepted the Constitution to be a rule, the principles, and the Christian faith was that religion that they accepted. That's what the Constitution is. It's a people that agreed to accept what the Constitution says and go by it. That's our rule of law. Not the president, but he is overriding what the Constitution says. Let me read a few things out of here, what the 45 goals are of the Communist Party. I just want to read a few. This is one of the goals of the Communist Party to try to come to pass in America, which has already happened, to present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as normal, natural, and healthy. You can put a big check right there. They've already accomplished that through this president. We, the American people, if you voted for the president, you voted in the communistic ideals. You voted in to go against the morals of the Word of God. No president ever before came out and publicly said that homosexuality was good, that it was okay, and then defied that marriage is between a man and a woman. Now there's laws being passed in every state. Sad to say, one group is being pushed, or even I've heard where these homosexuals are threatening judges and leaders. They're threatening their families and their loved ones. If you don't vote my way, we're going to do harm to you. Fear. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. Now that's only one thing. There was other things here with the Communist Party wanted to get into the TV programs and run the news media. Just recently, a law was tried to be passed, most likely from a communist, where they could go into the radio place and have someone listening to what you're saying and saying, no, you can't say that. That's communism. My friends, we need to wake up in America and pray for America to turn back to Christ.